Waffle stomping with Metal Jesus.
Nasty Labs.
Welcome to the Nasty Labs podcast, legally the best podcast. We're part of the Tokyo Beat Network, and we're the podcast from the game studio Chuhai Labs, where we talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up. As always, we're your hosts. I'm Kinsey. That's Mark. So open yourself up a chulai and let chulai. I was doing so well.
And let's go. Holy shit. What? Oh, I'm not supposed to curse within the first 3 minutes. Holy heck. What a great show we have today, Kinsey. We've got a big ass guest.
Hell yeah.
That sounded weird.
You just called me fat. Here's your laptop back.
We have a very special guest here today. Metal Jesus has made it all the way from Seattle and is in Kyoto, Japan right now.
Give it up. Clap. Woo. All right. The people are clapping off screen right now. We also have someone behind the camera right now. We've got a secret guest, and she's, there she is, Becky.
Yes.
Oh, what a lady. Hey, Kinsey, what is going on, and why do we have Metal Jesus with us today?
So, Metal Jesus is in Japan right now, obviously.
Yeah.
But going on his big Metal Jesus Rocks Japan Spectacular.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right.
That's the official term. Sure.
And so you've been here for what, 4 days now?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. So what have you done so far?
Sweat.
Yeah. It's hot as balls right now in
Yeah,
Kyoto.
Yeah. It's been amazing. So we hit the ground running for sure. So and all thanks to Kinsey, big time. She basically planned all this out. I mean, it's been awesome. So spending a lot of time in Kyoto. We did some game hunting yesterday, some video game hunting, saw some shrines. We've ate at 7-Eleven, no lie, every single day, sometimes multiple times a day.
That's the true Japan life.
Which
No.
sounds
You eat
really
at Konbini
weird.
so much.
Which sounds really weird if you're from the U.S. because you'd probably hurt something if you ate every day at 7-Eleven.
Taquitos, dude.
Yeah, or like the pump cheese nachos, you know.
Oh, and the
But-
taquitos have been on there for way too long, and you
Oh,
get it.
yeah.
It's like all crunchy, even
All right.
the meat.
They are pretty good, though. I'm just gonna...
No, really, you're jonesing for them.
Oh, just occasionally. Oh, why are you in Japan? What's going on?
I'm here to basically do a bunch of things. Game hunt, shoot video for my YouTube channel primarily. So
Right.
that's really the goal. So, I wanted to, ever since 2019 when we came, we immediately wanted to come back. And so we've kind of been planning to come back since, for the past 4 years. It's just, well, the world happened and, COVID. So we couldn't come back. And so the moment that the borders officially opened up and kind of became easier for us, we booked it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, that's exactly why we're back. We're back here to spend more time. In 2019, it was a whirlwind. We only had 11 days.
Yeah. We only here 11 days.
Yeah. It was too quick.
Mhm.
And so we're giving ourselves a little bit more time to not only just do video game stuff, but also take in more of the culture, go see more stuff, just be more tourists basically. So very happy to be here.
Hell yeah. Is this your best trip you've ever been on?
Well, I would say you definitely make it really special.
You hear that? You hear that? All right.
Yeah.
I'm flipping that
Group hug
motherfucker.
is going to happen, by the way. Yeah, group hug. I mean, I've been very lucky to be able to travel an awful lot. I've been
Right.
to all over Europe, Spain, and all around the United States as well. But there is nothing quite like Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny because people have asked me recently, like, actually, I forget who it was. It was my mom or something. She's like, why Japan? What is so special about that? And there's many, many things. But I was reminded yesterday that there is an energy, but also like people here are just, you can tell they want to be here and they love it here. There's a passion to it. So it's really fun to just be here and have the food and the culture and it's pretty, the video games, all that sort of stuff. So it's a very fun country to explore.
Shit,
Hell yeah.
Even though I don't understand anything I see, but you have to kind of give into that a little bit.
Mhm.
And so I think the first time we were here, we were deer in headlights. We
Right.
were
Oh, of
really,
course.
thankfully you made it very comfortable for us, but we got back and we're like, oh my God, what just happened? Now we're a little bit more prepared for it. And so we're a little bit more comfortable. We're not afraid of getting lost.
Okay.
Mhm.
we're not afraid of going into a store and trying to buy toothpaste or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're mentally in a really great place. Like 7-Eleven is a good example.
Mm.
You would never think of eating at a 7-Eleven, but here the quality of the food's really good.
Mhm.
Also, just trying every kind of new food is really fun. And so,
Yeah.
anyways, long story short,
Okay.
is that a
speaking
good
of-
answer?
No, that was a satisfactory answer.
Okay, yeah.
No. So speaking of food, like, what have you tried that you had never tried before?
Well, my wife, by the way, she's behind the camera, so she'll have to help me with this because I don't even know if we know the name of it. Last night we went to a department store.
Right.
I love this story. We're looking for food last night,
Right.
and we find this department store, and we're actually looking for a grocery store. To be honest, we're on our phones,
Yeah.
and it's pointing us to this department store. We're going around looking up here, and we're like, "Where the hell is it?"
Mhm.
Yeah, where's this food at, right? Are they tricking us? No, it was in the basement, and it's super fancy.
Right.
It's one of these places where they have like the really expensive peaches, the
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
expensive,
Sure.
yeah, $15 peaches, and we go in there, and it's just like it's top of the line everything. So, anyways, we got a couple salads that were made by salad specialists. I mean,
Salad specialist.
and this is
Shout
only
out.
one part of a massive floor of huge. Yeah. It was really cool. So,
It was like going to a department store in the U.S., like Macy's, and then be like, by the way, we're going to go to the
yeah, like an amazing food store was down below.
Yeah, department stores here are like way different because, like in the U.S., when we think of a department store, we think of something like
JCPenney's
Macy's
or
Sure,
exactly.
like
yeah.
you would never go to Sears and go down in the basement and have lunch.
Yeah,
I don't
Right,
think.
right.
I mean,
Well, not like that. It's not
Yeah.
like, it's like they have a cafe or something.
right.
You don't have a grocery.
Yeah, and especially with a salad specialist.
yeah. It was-
Salad specialist, homie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was a very odd answer that I didn't expect. I was hoping you were going to be like, I ate raw quail eggs.
No, I mean, I'll try anything once. Yeah, I'm more adventurous. I mean, like I did have it was like a salmon cream thing that was yeah.
Oh,
Croquette.
cool.
But
Croquettes,
with
yeah.
like a spicy tomato sauce on top of it.
Oh,
It's
so
like
that sounds
really,
awesome.
really good.
Yeah.
Mm.
What else have we tried here?
What's your favorite thing from a convenience store so far?
Well, oh boy, the cold noodles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, because actually, again, in Seattle, I eat noodles all the time,
Yeah.
Mhm.
every week. But I don't think I've ever had them cold ever.
Mm.
It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so actually, when I took the bowl up there, I thought the guy was going to warm it up. And he's like, yeah, because I asked him for the microwave. And he's like,
Right.
no, cold noodles.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, I was a little disappointed until we got back and I ate them. I'm like, oh my God, they're so good.
Yeah, cold
Right.
noodles are great.
Oh, God.
Cream puffs.
Again, it's cream puffs at 7-Eleven are so soft, so fresh, and they're not overly sweet.
Yeah.
It's just like
And also
Yeah. Pancakes. They're like pancakes, but they have syrup and butter already baked into them, and they're
Yep.
like really small. They're like kind of a
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
And
I know.
Combini pro tip: if you get the pancakes with the maple syrup, just get a Fammy Chickie, a piece of fried chicken, and put it in the middle. You got chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Chicken
We could
and
go on and on,
pancakes.
and we've
Chicken and
only been here
pancakes.
3 days or 4 days. So,
Y'all
but also
are
too,
tripping.
like just at lunch, we had some really tasty poke. It was kind of like Hawaiian style poke.
Hell yeah.
Mm,
but
yeah,
it was-
poke's great.
But it was a little bit different than it
Mhm.
wasn't mayonnaise based. It actually had like curry or something like that in it. So
Ooh.
it was very good.
Hell yeah! Do you know what's also very good?
I don't.
We got a great show lined up for you today. So, as always, we're going to start with What Up, where we talk about what we're playing. And then we're going to slide right into the main topic, which you can probably guess what that is. And then we're going to talk about the news, and then we'll answer your questions from Discord.
Sequelcast 2 and Friends is a podcast looking at movies in a franchise one film at a time, hosted by me, Matt Bradley Shurgi, Alex, and Thrasher. We also look at video games. We're working through Sierra Online's adventure games from Mystery House all the way up through Gabriel Knight 3 and larger pop culture topics. It's a lot of fun. For more info, go to sequelcast2.com, only on the Tokyo Beat Network.
And now it's time for What Up, where we talk about what we're playing. And that rule I made up 35 episodes ago,
Oh,
which
shit.
is the guest goes first.
Oh.
Metal Jesus, what are you playing?
games.
Oh shit! Surprise!
So, a long flight from Seattle.
Uh-oh.
So I load up on games when I come over
Yeah.
here. So,
Oh, what console did you bring?
well, I brought the Switch for
Right.
one reason, and that is that while I really, really like the Steam Deck,
Right.
and I would be playing a lot more Steam Deck. I play Steam Deck at home, but on an airplane, some games launch, some don't.
Oh,
because
yeah.
They need Wi-Fi.
Oh no. Okay.
It's
okay.
incredibly annoying. So anyways, to make a long story short, I brought my Switch,
Right.
Mhm.
and I have a backlog of games I've been wanting to get to. And the first one it's been sitting there staring at me, going, "Play me" for so long, is Shin Megami Tensei 5
Yeah.
on Switch.
Yeah.
So, are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, really cool franchise, of JRPGs, and I've been wanting to dive into it because it's a type of game you need to commit to.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on in all the SMT games.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I haven't played one. I mean, do you consider Persona games?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know they're part of that world.
Yeah.
Aren't they like way easier than
The
the
Persona?
SM?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So, but I think the last one I actually played and beat was like Nocturne
Mhm.
back on the PS2. So
Wow.
it's been a while. So I've actually been really excited to jump into this one, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's post-apocalyptic Tokyo.
I
and
feel
all
like you're
these
setting us up
demons
for
and-
something. I feel like you're gonna be like, it's beautiful, but
But it
Yeah.
is very, very grindy.
right.
And that's one thing I mean, that's why I knew on the plane, okay, I've got 11 hours to dedicate to this game. I'm killing time,
Mhm.
got nowhere to go, nothing to do. And I will say I am enjoying it quite a bit. It's grindy though. And so
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, it does have a really nice feature where it'll auto battle.
Yeah.
And in auto battling too, it'll speed up the animation of the
Oh, cool.
combat. So that's pretty fun.
Mhm.
And also you can change the difficulty. It actually recommends you to change the difficulty if you want to grind, because you can lower it a little bit, auto. But it's also kind of lame. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like,
Sure. You're not playing the game.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the part of it I don't really enjoy. I love the art design. I love the characters. The story's really interesting. Just kind of grinding is a grind a little bit. So,
Mhm.
but that's what I'm playing right now.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So you just said it was an 11-hour flight. Are you telling me that you racked up 11 hours of gameplay? I have a feeling you
No,
yeah.
no.
No.
No, not. I mean, I go back and forth. I mean, on my flight, I also brought in a bunch of other Switch games.
Sure.
Mhm.
Another go-to for me is just bringing a bunch of Japanese shooters, like arcade style
Right,
shooters.
right.
So I have a couple compilations of the Raidens and R types and things like that. Those are really good to pop in as well.
Yeah,
So
I think on airplanes, yeah, any sort of like, I don't want to say mindless because
Yeah.
those are still hard, but more so mindless, like that you
Yeah.
could just like quick and pick up games,
Yeah,
are good for airplanes.
Also, too, a standby for me on the Switch, we've got hundreds of hours into it, is just Skyrim
Oh yeah,
on the Switch is fantastic. Because again, you can play Skyrim, you can either play it where you focus on the story, or you can just wander around and
Sure.
level up and explore stuff. And it's
Mhm.
amazing game because it is a game where even though we played it multiple times, I still discover stuff
Right.
yeah.
because the map is so freaking big.
Yeah.
I love Skyrim.
I do too,
Mhm.
actually. So, I mentioned the Steam Deck because I really, really wanted to start Baldur's Gate 3, but I couldn't trust I could launch the game,
yeah,
yeah, sure.
because I don't know if it needs like a Wi-Fi connection, all that sort of stuff. So, anyways, that's what I'm playing.
Okay. Well, SMT5.
Yes.
I always ask her, do you foresee yourself finishing SMT5? Let's be real. Be
Yeah,
real.
I always want to,
Right.
and then I always get to a point where not always, but sometimes I'm a big believer in, did I get my money's worth? Like
Yeah.
for instance, there's some gamers out there who, if they buy a game, they're not satisfied until they finish it.
Of course.
I'm not necessarily that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are some games, there's lots of games actually I will finish, but I may get to a point in that game where I'm like, I'm good.
yeah.
I got my $60 worth, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that usually for RPGs is around the 40 out at 40 hours. If it's not wrapping up, I'm kind of like, okay, how much time do we got left here?
Yep.
And I don't know how long that game is. It could be 40, 50, 60. If it's 100 hours, probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Then let me backtrack and let me rephrase it. You said around 40 hours, right?
Yeah.
Do you foresee yourself putting 40 hours into this game?
It's possible because I was playing it this morning in the hotel.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, so
That's a sign.
I am still playing it.
Yeah.
So, and actually, it's a nice game because I can hop into it and grind for a little while, which is what I was doing this morning.
Sure.
Mhm.
So on this trip, I'll continue playing it, and on the plane home. So probably by the time I get home, I might be 20, 25, 30 hours into it. But at that time, to your point,
Right.
have I felt like I got my money's worth out of it or not?
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Do you think there's like you want to get your money's worth, but also like you don't want to feel like you wasted money at all? The 40-hour thing you're talking about is like 40 hours of hopefully joy.
And specifically, I'm talking about RPGs. So
Sure,
Yeah.
of course.
like for me, some of the best RPGs ever made are by BioWare.
Yeah.
And I love, like, for instance, Mass Effect or Dragon Age. They're about 40 to 50 hour RPGs.
with like no
and-
grinding, right? It's just kind of like
very
power
little
through
grinding.
it.
It's
know?
like because the story keeps you progressing through
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? It's a very different mentality.
of course.
And so actually, to be honest, I actually really like that style.
Yeah.
I was talking, you and I talked about this for years. Like, you love grinding in some games.
I do love grinding.
Yeah.
Wink.
Right. It's a different mindset.
Nasty laughs.
So, I don't know. So, for instance, for RPGs, because I played them for the story. It's not necessarily for the combat.
Right.
I love storytelling in video games, and so
Me too.
combat sometimes, like to give you an example, the other RPG I brought with me is the Pixel remasters for Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, or 1 through 6.
Mhm.
And I really, really wanted to replay 6.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I haven't played 6, since it originally came out. And I
Yeah.
loved it when it first came out. But I was like, oh my God, like that is going to be grinding.
That's a slog.
Yeah.
It's a slog. However, the Pixel remasters give you things like you can actually turn off combat.
Oh, bro, I'm about to play Final Fantasy
Dude,
again.
I
Yeah.
know. So, like, literally, I think you just push in on the thumbstick and it turns off all combat, and you can actually you can 2x and 4x all XP and money. So you
Wow,
could,
yeah.
So that's actually a pretty cool option. And again, it's completely optional if you want the original experience, but the new Pixel remasters let you do that, which is pretty cool.
That actually sounds worth it because I love 6. I think it's a
Yeah.
near flawless game, but
Yeah.
it has that huge flaw of, oh God.
Well, because again, I guess the reason why I was bringing this up because I love story. So
Right.
it's really annoying when you're just trying to get to the next town. Step, combat. Oh God!
especially
Step,
the world
step,
map.
step,
Yeah,
combat.
the
Yeah,
world.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
it's just
it.
so much.
Yes, you can completely turn that off temporarily if you
I'm,
want.
I'm gonna be buying that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, pretty cool,
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I like everything you've said. Now it's time that we make fun of Kinsey. Kinsey, what are you playing?
So, Mark thinks I'm a giant dork,
Correct.
And you are.
Yeah.
but I'm still playing Baldur's Gate because, of course, I am.
How much into that are you?
Maybe 50 hours.
Okay.
Maybe
People
not quite that
are
much.
saying that's one of the best games. I've actually seen people say it's their favorite game ever, which is saying a lot.
I do like it a lot so far. I do think it can get a little bit like difficult. And
I've heard
one of
that
the
too,
reasons
yeah.
I like level grinding is because like if I feel like if I'm under leveled, I can fix it.
Yeah.
But in games like this, you can't fix it because like everything is like based on like the story or based on like some kind of interaction.
Yeah.
So there's not just like random enemies walking around for me to level grind.
Yeah, because in real
Oh.
D&D, you would have a dungeon master who is kind of guiding the
Yep.
party through this, and so they would be essentially matching the monsters to the
Sure.
level of the party.
Yeah.
And so the computer's trying to kind of do that, but I have heard it's very difficult. at
Yeah,
times- at
and
times.
like I'm not a super tactician either. Like I'm not the
Right.
person who's gonna like min-max all my characters and like do all these things and
Yeah.
like so I feel like the people who say it's easy, They just got that, strategy tactician brain. And they're like,
Okay.
no, if I do this, and it min-maxes, and this guy's weak against this, and he has a resistance for this, though, so don't use it. Like, I'm not great at that.
Oh God.
So I'm like, and so what I normally do if I can't beat a battle is I just hide all my people in the rafters like a real hero. And rain arrows down on people in Magic.
I do love that. Like Skyrim's very similar to that too. One of the most amazing things in Skyrim is when you discover the bow and arrow.
Oh yeah.
And then you start realizing that you can pick things off from like really, really far away,
Yeah.
sneaking, and you feel kind of lame doing it, like you're gaming the game
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's part of the game, though.
It's amazing. Like,
Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
that.
In Skyrim, I remember I got my sneak. It was like the maxed out, so like 100. And my sneak was 100. And like I went through an entire dungeon just crouching and picking people off. And even the boss, I killed the boss. No one saw me in that dungeon the whole time. And like the sneak's not as good in Baldur's Gate. I kind of wish it was.
Yeah, okay.
Because I definitely play.
You mean as broken?
Yeah. I
Like-
definitely play as like a super sneaky pickpocket thief, all of the above. But like I'm trying to do that in Baldur's Gate. And like there was this potion sitting on this table. I hope I didn't tell this story in the last episode. If I did, I'm sorry. It's going to happen again. But I stole this potion on this table. And like I was snuck away. And then this guy walked over to the table and was like, oh no, something's been stolen. And then he's like, did you do it? And then I have to like persuasion my way
like
out of
roll
it.
for it. Oh,
And I was
interesting.
like, bro, how'd you know? Like,
you had that guilty look.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I was hiding the whole time. And then he walked over there and I didn't even see him over there ever.
Huh.
And then was like, it's gone.
Oh,
I
that's
was like,
funny.
it sounds like a trap. But so I'm not quite as good, even though. So I think my sneak's getting better because I just had this instance where I needed to get this key off this person, but she like really didn't. When I talked to her, it did not go very well. And she just wanted to kill me.
Right.
And so I could technically loot it off her body, but that battle was like kind of hard and I kept dying.
Mm.
So I save scummed and I went back and I just walked behind her and I pickpocketed her. And I was like, see ya.
That reminds me of I think Fallout. One of the Fallout 3, where if your sneak was high enough, you could sneak a grenade onto somebody's body.
Yeah.
Put it in
and
their
then just, like,
inventory.
sneak away, just like
Yeah.
blow them up or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It's called exploding pants. But yeah, I definitely did that in Fallout.
That's yeah.
And so at least it's getting better because my sleight of hand right now, it's really high. And I have like 1 million like dice multipliers.
Mm.
So the only way I can fail a sleight of hand roll now is if I roll a critical miss, a 1.
See, I want to play Baldur's Gate and play it with like a super high charisma, like conversation to try to.
That's what I'm doing.
Because
yeah.
Again, in Fallout, I think it's like Fallout 3 or something like that, or maybe no, it's New Vegas.
Best
where
Fallout.
At the very end, you can beat the game
Yeah.
if your conversation's high enough. I love the fact you can.
Oh,
sometimes
sure.
do that.
Yeah. You can talk
I
your way
needed
through
that
it.
way
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. And I'm kind of playing like high charisma, high sleight of hand, like high persuasion in this game. But the more I'm finding out which NPCs I like and want them in my party. So one of them, Asterion, the vampire, he's the same character as me. Like he's a rogue who is good at persuasion, who's good at lockpicking, who's good at sleight of
see.
hand.
Okay.
And then I'm like, crap. Well, now I never have
like
him in my
two
party.
rogues in the party you don't
Right.
really need, right?
Yeah. So I might respect my character as like a ranger or something just to be able to have him in my party more. Because then I
Could
can
you just
use
kill him?
I could. But
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like that sounds
Bro.
cool. Try it out.
he's handsome.
Well, can't have that many handsome people in one party. I'm just saying.
He
Because
did say
you're
no,
already
though.
occupied. You've got like a wife or girlfriend or something.
okay.
See what I mean? Like,
So in
Kill
the
him.
last episode, we talked about how I'm romancing Shadowheart against my will because I agreed
That's-
when I was being like naive, not realizing I was agreeing to date her.
pulling a Kinsey.
Because she was like, hey, do you want to share a bottle of wine later? And I was like, hell yeah, girl, I do.
A ball of wine?
A bottle of
Oh,
wine.
okay. Well, it makes more sense. Okay.
Please have a ball of wine.
What's up, dude? Trying to have a ball of wine.
I bet that's how the Gungans drink their wine underwater in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
That's That's a tangent.
Yeah. Kill me.
I knew you'd love that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, she was like, let's go share a bottle of wine. And I was like, okay.
But did you just assume it was friendly, or that she?
Well, I knew she was probably like, it's probably romance. But at the same time, that's not like, hey, we're dating now. Do you know what I mean?
And yet.
And so then after I talked to her, I was like, meet you for that bottle of wine later. And I walk around the camp, and then people are like, oh, so I see you and Shadowheart are dating. And I'm like, we are?
Dating.
Crap.
So now you guys are throwing down on the reg.
We have not yet.
That's
She was
that's
like,
fucking lame, dude.
I'm stuck with her. But she's like, I need time to think about it. And then hasn't gotten back to me.
Like the whole camp has already thought about it.
We've
They're
all
like,
thought about it.
Yeah.
I want out. I want out.
Why don't you kill her and bone down with the handsome guy?
She's my only healer. And handsome guy doesn't like me yet. Well, I
but
think
if you sacrifice her in front of him,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
how this
for love.
game. Yeah, you
For
know what I mean?
love.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
worried though now with him. I think we're like best friends.
Oh, friend
Yeah,
zone.
I think I've been friend zoned.
Oh, lame burger.
So we'll see. I'll just let him keep biting me. It'll be
Oh,
a
man.
one-sided thing. It'll be fine.
Well, I love the Ballgate update. It's that's going to be the new section of the show, Ballgate update.
Ballgate.
Ballgate update. Well, I'm barely into Act 2, so there's going to be more episodes of the Ballgate update.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So you're playing that, I assume, on PC.
Yeah.
Because it comes out for PS5 soon, or maybe
Yeah.
it's out as of this.
Today-ish, yeah.
Is it today?
Yeah.
That's probably where I Rebecca really wants to play that.
Yeah.
And so I think we'll get the PS5 version.
Yeah.
Are you a PC gamer as well?
I'm an every gamer.
Okay.
Although to be fair, like my PC, my most powerful PC is actually like a Mac Studio,
Yeah.
like a maxed out Mac Studio because I do so much Final Cut.
Sure.
But lately, I have been using a lot of those little kind of mini PCs. You know, those like Minus Forum ones and stuff like that, where they have like pretty decent mobile processors in there. So it would run probably on medium settings, I would think. So
Yeah, because I'm just playing on my laptop. And it's running fine.
I mean, the thing for me is that I don't want to game in my office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I like
Work,
I like sitting
not
back
work.
on the couch with the controller.
Right.
Me
These
too.
days,
Hitting the
Yeah.
bong, you know what I mean?
Oh, I miss Seattle.
But so to answer your question, but I do have like old gaming PCs. That's why I
Sure.
was kind of have to.
That's a little different, bro.
Hey, maybe to you.
Yeah, that's completely different when you need to boot up Duke Nukem 3D, Rise of the Triad, and all those other old school shooters.
Although they just did a Rise of the Triad like remaster. Did you see
yeah.
that?
I cannot wait.
Widescreen,
I
all that,
cannot
yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
I played the demo for it.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Mark Lentz?
Oh shit! I'm
What you
still up.
playing? Yeah, you
okay,
still
so
gotta tell us
I
what
don't,
you're
I don't
playing.
like
Yeah.
this anymore. Okay, guys, I'm playing a game that you might be interested in. Actually, so RetroWare. Do you know RetroWare TV? Do you remember that YouTube channel?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So they pivoted a while back into being a publisher, and they've published the Angry Video Game Nerd game,
Okay.
and a couple of other titles. And they have a new title called Prison City. And Prison City is a retro inspired. It's Batman for the NES
Mhm.
meets the world storytelling of RoboCop.
Oh, okay.
So it's like in a fake Detroit kind of place,
Yeah.
and like you have to, it's not really Detroit, but you have to like escape like this city, and it's kind of Escape from New York.
I was gonna say, it's
Yeah,
from New
yeah,
York.
it's
Okay.
like the plot of that, but then like the world of Delta City from RoboCop. You know, all of our favorite '80s,
Yeah, sure.
cornball
Does it have a
shit.
synthwave soundtrack?
It doesn't, but it would if it because it's all 8-bit inspired.
Okay.
It absolutely would. It
Yeah,
absolutely, and like all of your telecommunication with your partners are all with like a fake Metal Gear Solid kind of
Oh yeah.
like screen.
Huh.
But it's a side scroller in the vein of Batman NES,
Okay.
the classic. The developer claimed that he's never played the game, and I say that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's bullshit, but
Yeah.
like if he hasn't played it, like wow, because Batman for the NES is one of my favorite platformers. It's broken, it's janky, but it's also perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a fan of that series at all.
I-
It's too hard, too hardcore.
I mean, I didn't.
You can say you haven't played it.
Well, my gaming history is kind of weird because yes, we would rent an NES
Sure.
for very specific games.
Oh, word.
But I actually didn't really own a Nintendo console until I got the Super Nintendo.
Oh, word.
And even then, I only had it for about a year before I went over to PC. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
so it's very weird. And so now I've kind of gone back
Right.
and played games that I missed. So
well, I would highly recommend that game. There's
Yeah,
a couple
I've
of
heard of
them.
it for sure.
There's a couple of them for the NES, but that one in particular is just wildly fucking good.
yeah.
And so this game has a lot of purples. It has a lot of. It's really. It looks like the moon planet from DuckTales. The whole game looks like that.
Oh,
Like it's
huh.
dark. It's morbid. I got nothing else for it besides it's just
Is it new though?
it's brand new.
Okay.
Just came out last week, a couple
Oh,
of days ago, by RetroWare, and fucking phenomenal. If you're into these kinds of games, and if you're not, it's the worst. It's like, it would be shit if you didn't like
what
these
a
kind of games.
ringing endorsement.
Well, I mean, if you're not into old school,
Yeah,
you're
of course.
inspired,
Yeah.
like it's not for you because
Yeah.
it's also really hard.
Yeah.
So I like hardcore platformers, so it just resonates with
So,
me
Mark,
really well. Oh shit!
Do you see yourself finishing this?
Yeah,
game?
fuck yeah. Good question. Great question, and I absolutely will finish this. Unless it's broken at the end, you know,
Right,
unless
right,
it's
right.
unfair.
Yeah.
Like, because these are the kinds of. I mean, first of all, it's not an RPG that's going to last 40 fucking hours.
Right,
You know, this is
exactly.
I'm gonna play this for 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I of course will beat this,
Okay.
unless it's broken.
You
It
have
better
to
not be
hold him to
broken.
this. You're gonna have to hold him to this. So
Yeah.
next week.
You got to beat it.
Yeah.
Because
Shit.
5 hours. Come on. You can beat that today.
I don't play games for 5 hours, man. Hell no, dude. I like doing other stuff. Y'all are crazy.
And speaking of people who are crazy and what they're playing, up next is play this shit with Dan Gorman with Discord Dan.
Hello and welcome to Play This Shit, where I, Dan Gorman, one of your trusty Chuhai Labs Discord moderators, tells you what to play. Brand new as of the recording of this video, Roto Force from Accidentally Awesome is a frantic arena-based twin-stick shooter that has you battling enemies, mini-bosses, and more in a rotating world. This is an incredibly addictive game. I love the simple but effective control scheme where you can move left and right to rotate the arenas, shoot and dash, and that's it. You can unlock 9 weapons as you play that offer different play styles. There's 30 mini bosses, 10 big bosses, multiple difficulty modes, and accessibility options. I personally thanked the developer on Twitter for the screen shake slider. Please put more screen shake sliders in games. I need them. I don't like screen shake. But I was able to slide it down in this because they were thinking of people like me. If you love a twitchy but tight action game, then Roto Force is for you. You can get this on itch.io. You can get it on Steam, iOS, Android. It's like $7 American or so. Well worth your money. That is it, Roto Force. Please play this shit. My name is Dan Gorman. I will see you on the Chuhai Labs Discord. And remember to play good games.
And now it's time for our weekly topic. And that, of course, is the man himself, Metal Jesus Rocks.
Okay, so I'm the topic.
You're the topic.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk
What do you
about.
wanna know?
No. This isn't question hour. We're just going to talk about you for the next 30 minutes. No. Kinsey, you've got a lot of pre-made questions about your good friend Jason, aka Metal Jesus. How could we start this bad boy off?
So let's start from the beginning.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay. So how did you get into YouTube in the first place? Because actually, I don't know if we ever did a proper introduction.
Shit. What year?
But yeah, this is Metal Jesus Rocks, famed YouTuber. Like, subscribe, all the things. So when and how did you end up starting a YouTube channel?
Well, way back in
Way back.
2010. So I mean,
2010.
I've always loved making videos, even long for YouTube.
Do you have a history of it, or
I do a little bit. I mean, as an amateur, but I
Sure.
would make home movies for.
Okay.
I made home movies in high school.
Mhm.
I would make movies like if family flew out to Seattle, we would film and they would leave with a DVD of their trip.
that's pretty great?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. So I've
Have
always
you posted those on YouTube?
not yet. I'd have to get
Ooh,
permissions.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I mean, and so I've always been really passionate about video. And then also what kind of moves into this a little bit is that when in 2001, when I got laid off, I decided I'm going to switch careers. And I went to the University of Washington for audio production.
Right.
And in audio, because I thought I was going to record bands. I was like,
Sure.
screw this tech thing. I'm just
Yeah.
going to basically go into music, which I love.
Right.
And what I found out is that one, nobody does just music. They do music and video.
Right.
And also nobody makes any money in there. That basically that you can work for 20 years and make $10 an hour.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's it's pretty rough. So I was like, well, okay, I'm not going to do that. But I did learn a lot about audio production. I actually was an intern at a recording studio in Seattle.
Okay.
And so I worked on, Seattle Mariners commercials, and I also worked on some info commercials and things like that, like the late night ones.
Yeah.
you know?
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Like,
They're really-
like call up some like a fortune teller, that kind of thing. What are we talking about?
At the time, it was a bunch of health, like 30-minute, like the most boring shit you could possibly imagine. But I learned a lot,
Right.
you know. And then what happened really is that I forget, it was like around 2008, 2010. I would see other YouTubers and go, "Oh, I know what they're doing." Like when they're
Right.
filming
yeah.
or when they're cutting to B-roll or whatever. And basically, I was just like, "Well, I can just do that," and with what I know as well, and try to do my own version of it. So that's exactly what I did. Is I basically was like, and I didn't know if I was going to do video games or music or both or whatever.
Right.
That's why it's called Metal Jesus Rocks, because I didn't know. I didn't want it to be 16-bit gamer,
Sure.
whatever. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
To
didn't
get
want
locked down.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted something that people could remember fairly easy. It could spell it hopefully, and kind of leave it open for whatever I wanted to create.
Right.
Which is why I've bounced around so much on my channel, doing pretty much every system in known to man, travel videos, vinyl pickups videos,
Right.
whatever. That's been why I've wanted to do it. So in 2010 is whenever I really kind of got serious about it, and basically was like, treated it like a second job.
Yeah.
Because I had a full-time IT help desk job. So going to work, 8:30 in the morning, leaving at 5, getting home, having dinner, 7 o'clock till 11 or 12 every night, and doing the whole thing. And it was non-negotiable. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I've got to do it.
Yeah.
And essentially what happened is that the ad revenue and the views kind of kept going up to where I was able to go to Rebecca and say, I think this might actually be a thing,
Right.
that I can make it work and maybe do it full time. And so it was like in 2015 or 2016, I basically left that job. And it was really funny, dude, because my CEO of the company, smaller company, it was a real estate technology company. So
Okay.
well-funded, made it, decent money. But he was like, he was from Microsoft, because Microsoft's in Seattle, right? So he was ex-Microsoft running our company. And I'll never forget this. On my last day, on my exit interview, he pulls me into his office. He's like, "You are making a massive mistake." Looked me right in the eye.
Damn.
Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna fail," And,
look where he's at now, bro.
I know.
All right, hold on.
Here's the thing. It lit a fire under me, because I was like,
Oh, you don't
I
like
was
to be
like-
challenged?
I was like, fuck you.
Yeah. You're like, no, I can do this.
I was incredibly annoyed, but I also now understand. It'd be like somebody coming to say, "I'm going to go start a band and I'm going to be a rock band. I'm going to rule the world." And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The likelihood of that happening is very low.
Right.
But it was a real moment, because here's a guy who drives an incredibly nice BMW, makes a lot of money. He's from Microsoft. And I was just like, huh, okay. And it had really nothing necessarily to do with my skill. I think it was just that it was such a big mountain to climb. And
Yeah.
so, that was that was the start of it. That was my last day at that job. But then also too, again, I went home and I poured the gas on. I was like, oh yeah, we're, sink or swim. This is going to happen, or, I'm going to die trying.
So, like you said, you started in 2010. Like, were there a series of YouTubers that kind of like you
Yes.
targeted and said, "Oh, that's the kind of thing"? Who are those early inspirations?
Absolutely. Some people who are still friends of mine. So, I mean, a big one, I don't know if he likes me when I tell this story, but it's true, is that Gamester81, John, is such a cool guy.
Right.
And I remember watching his videos, and he just had a ton of games and systems that I'd never seen before. Because again, I'm mostly a PC gamer
Sure.
from the 80s and 90s. So Commodore, a PC mostly. But his collection was incredible, still is. And he would also have these pickups videos where he would show these games. And again, I didn't really recognize many of them, but I was fascinated by his stories and stuff. But the thing I learned from that is, again, he didn't show gameplay footage for all this stuff. And I desperately, as a viewer, needed that because I wasn't familiar. He assumed, because he's a little bit younger and just was a
Right.
console gamer that
Mhm.
people like, for instance, you with
Sure.
with Batman or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a common language, and if you say it to they know exactly what that is. Well, someone may not who's a PC gamer.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things I definitely did was like every video is going to have gameplay footage. I don't care how hard it is. So like even today, there's a reason why most YouTubers don't do pickups videos, because when you show 30 games, we capture the footage
Yeah.
Sure.
for 30 games. Oh, and by the way, we shoot 2 of them. So when Reggie comes over, it's 60 games each.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
break it up or whatever. So it's a lot of work. And so I totally get why most people don't. But to answer your question, I saw sort of like what I was missing for me
Mhm.
as a viewer.
Sure.
And I was like, I'm going to fill that hole with my videos. In addition to also taking some of the knowledge I had of video production. So
Sure.
a little bit better lighting, color correction, really good audio when I can do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Use compression on the audio, things like that. B-roll, a lot of like, some of my videos, like we'll always cut to footage not only of gameplay but also maybe the cover of the game.
Sure.
That's all work, right? We shoot all that stuff.
It's not free,
I
like,
edit all that sort of
that's
stuff.
a lot of stuff.
And so that was basically it.
Hmm.
Is that really sort of just trying to find my own niche and take some of the YouTubers I like Gamester81, Happy Console Gamer.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of a lot of them that actually aren't even around anymore.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
I used to follow a guy, Atari Leaf, who was really big into Atari 8-bit computers.
Mhm.
Watched every single one of his videos because I didn't know anything about Atari 8-bit computers. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank
So now that you're where you're at now,
you. Okay.
what's your favorite thing about your job?
The fact that I can do this, for a living is
Mhm.
just mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is amazing that YouTube has this ability to do what I do as a career, or really anything. When we're growing up in the 80s and in the 90s, if you wanted to be on television, you'd have to go the traditional route. You have to go to film school,
Sure.
Mhm.
be an intern at maybe a television station, and work your way up, or like a grip or something like that on a
Mhm.
film shoot. There was a much different process that may or may not be actually filming yet, right?
Yeah.
And so along comes YouTube, where anybody can upload, a video and be very authentic to themselves and find their audience. And also YouTube handles all of the ad revenue and all of that. You don't have to worry about that sort of
Mhm.
stuff, really, right? They do it all for you. So they find the advertisers for you.
Yeah.
All you have to do is really create the content. So
That actually takes me to a question I wanted to ask. When you said you went full time in 2015, like the Adpocalypse wasn't that long after.
yes.
And like, was there ever a time, in that window when you're like, oh, fuck me. This was like,
Yeah. I mean,
like,
so I mean, really every video that goes up, even today,
right.
Mhm.
I do really, really care about ad revenue and sort of, it's so to answer your question is that, you quickly learn that it's so much of it's out of your control.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear a lot about the YouTube algorithm and how
Mhm.
mysterious it is. And I have a YouTube manager. Okay. I have a person who works at YouTube that I speak to,
Like an account manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who I speak to every, I don't know, couple months, whatever. We have, check-ins about my channel. And even really, he doesn't necessarily
Sure.
know what the YouTube algorithm is. He can walk me through the analytics and things like that to try to figure out what's working, because YouTube really wants you to kind of find a community and an audience and make the best possible videos that you can for that audience.
Well, I mean, they don't want people to exploit the algorithm
Mhm.
and
That's the
break
other
it.
half.
And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
like,
The moment that they would expose anything
yeah.
about that, you would have scammers on there, or
sure.
people trying to
Oh,
game the
definitely.
system.
Like AI making
Yeah,
videos.
we saw that a couple years ago when they were dealing with that, where basically because any channel could get ad revenue, suddenly you had a ton of bot driven
Yeah.
channels
like Spider-Man singing the ABCs
and
upside
just
down.
re-uploading
Yeah.
everything, and they
like-
were they didn't care if they
Yeah.
got 50 views. because they were getting because they had 1,000 channels. So
Yeah.
suddenly they had to adjust their algorithm and say, you're not going to be monetized. You're not going to get a check until you have, however many hours now. It's
Sure.
like 4,000 hours.
Yeah.
Right? So YouTube's always kind of tweaking that. And that's why, from a creator standpoint, I try not to worry about that too much. The one thing I will say I brought to my channel was this idea of search engine optimization, because when I was in IT, part of my job was helping real estate agents get their personal websites into search.
Yeah.
Right.
So agents would be like, I want to become the #1 search engine, for this neighborhood. And I would tell them, these are the tags you would put in. These are the things that you would want to do, blah, blah, blah. And so I've done that with my videos. I have like 900 or 1,000 videos. They're not really designed for what comes out today. They're designed to get in that search engine that is YouTube and Google and get views for years.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm in it for the long haul.
Sure.
And sometimes I will play around with that. Sometimes I'll cover something kind of topical. You and I kind of did that a little bit when we were doing news,
Yeah.
but it's very difficult to do
Sure.
because 2 weeks later the news is old.
It's not evergreen.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
whereas the content you're creating is.
Absolutely. So I'm definitely going for the long haul in that regard. So for instance, my #1 video today, as we sit here, is a video from 2021. It's an iPod video, and it's got like 3 million views.
Top songs for your iPod. It's the
But
cars.
I did that as a kind of an experiment to go, is there an audience for an iPod video? And when it came out on my channel, it completely bombed because my subscribers did not care about it.
Right.
But YouTube and the viewers, and I every single day,
Wow.
it's my #1 video, and it gets new subscribers, it gets new ad
Very
revenue,
interesting.
and it
Wow,
just kind
yeah.
of creaks along. So that's kind of like the little secret that I do.
So I want to tell a little anecdote. So I only just met Jason, aka Metal Jesus, on Friday, and you said earlier that you like really cared about your videos, and from an outsider perspective, like every fucking YouTuber is gonna say that. You know what I mean? Like I really care. Well, like on Friday, your one of your videos was about to drop,
Yeah.
and you kept saying, no, I gotta go soon.
Yeah.
Like I need to follow the comments. I need to be actively engaged.
Yeah.
And like it, I'm saying this to people here. Like it seemed as honest and as genuine as it could be, and
Yeah.
I really admire that. And like
Well, thank
that
you.
was like you do care.
I do.
Because he also rattled off every video for the next like 6 weeks that he has, and it, like as a point of pride. And I gotta say, like that was the shit, dude. That was really really
Well,
cool.
part of that was fear because I was uploading a video for a e-machine unboxing,
Right.
which was, one of the toughest things possible. So one of the toughest things for me is because I'm a one-man show,
Right.
is that I suffer from this problem, and it's so annoying, is that I will be thinking one thing and my mouth will say something else. You and I have done
yeah.
videos where maybe we're doing a Wii video, and for some reason I'll say GameCube, and I'm thinking Wii.
Oh yeah.
I said GameCube on the
Right.
video. I edited the video.
Whoops.
It went live, and here's me, Metal Jesus looking like a freaking moron because I didn't catch it. Because I'm too much involved sometimes. And
Right.
so sometimes like for instance that video on Friday, it's an e-machine video. I've never messed around with that before, and it's it can be kind of technical.
Sure.
Yeah.
I ran into a couple like technical issues in that video with the CMOS battery on the motherboard, blah blah blah. So one of my biggest fears is that I miss something, and people are like, "What an idiot!"
Yeah. The one e-machine know-it-all out there is like, bro, did you know?
Oh yeah,
Like-
there was a guy in the comments like,
Yeah.
"This guy doesn't know anything about computers."
There's always that guy in the comments.
I know, totally, yeah. But you're right though. I absolutely do care.
Yeah.
Mm.
I work too damn hard on this to
Yeah.
Yeah.
not care, and I care about my audience and what they think about it. I want them to, I do really look at the like versus dislike,
Mhm.
on a video. I really want it to be as close to 100% as I can possibly get.
Oh, definitely.
It's like I said, I work hard on it. So
Mhm.
Yeah, and you don't seem jaded or broken at all. Like, like so many people are, because like
Yeah.
it's hard work,
Yeah.
but it's also like some people are chasing the algorithm and it like gets to them.
yeah.
And it seems like you're more like, oh no, I'm just going to use this as information. to like slowly change if needed.
I mean,
you know?
the internet. It's been interesting that dealing with the internet and some of the things that people put out there, that can be kind of annoying for sure, because they act like they know you, or they assume that they what's going on or what. But also too, the vast majority of people that are on my channel that comment are overwhelmingly positive.
Sure.
Also, one thing that really helps me is that I go to expos and meet real people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go, and I go to an expo and I meet real people who aren't hiding behind a keyboard, and they are so excited to have a conversation, and I love talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even here in Japan, I've had a couple people come up and, oh my God, what do Metal Jesus, and what are you doing? And they want to know what I picked up, and all this sort of stuff. And that's been really cool. That's the focus.
That's great.
So
yeah, it's just a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
Like it seems like so I've met your wife off camera. She was in the first couple minutes of the show, and like you guys adore each other, and it seems like you've got like this amazing work-life balance, because she's like involved in your shit too, bro.
Yeah.
She's the top real estate agent in all of the greater Seattle area, selling on average
4.7 billion houses.
Yeah.
But like it seems like you're doing fantastically, and
Thanks.
like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my wife for sure, because while she's not as involved in my channel as, she's not a video editor,
right?
But she loves to travel, and so it is really nice that she does know what I'm looking for when it comes to videos, like especially travel videos. She doesn't really help my channel on the day-to-day, because she's,
come on, Rebecca.
She's
What's
got
up,
her own
dude?
job.
Come on.
She has her own
Can't
job.
even help on a day-to-day.
But when it comes to like travel stuff, she's absolutely like right there. She knows exactly what I want.
Right.
And she's really fun too. She'll give me great suggestions. Yeah. She'll be the one who be like, you might want to wash your hair. You might want to change your shirt.
Yeah.
All right. That's
which I really, really need sometimes.
That's a good partner. That's a good
yeah,
partner.
yeah, totally.
Definitely. And now it's time for the news.
Kinsey.
So,
hold on.
yes.
What's the news?
So stuff happened.
Oh, shit.
Stuff happened.
Uh-huh.
So Gamescom happened. So Gamescom 2023 happened, and there were some big announcements. Here's a few that we like.
What's Gamescom?
Because Gamescom? Oh, Gamescom is the premier giant video game expo that takes place in Cologne, Germany, right? It's in Cologne?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's the biggest game event.
Probably the biggest one in the world, right?
It is.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's
I think
huge.
it's like 500,000 people at this point.
Oh, jeez,
We
really?
need to get Metal Jesus over there.
I would
What's
go.
up,
Gotta go
Gamescom?
to
What's
yeah,
up?
gotta go to
Wait, you said
Gamescom.
Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't trust it.
No. Oh, hell no.
Listen,
But yeah,
No. I'm not going. Vakken. I want to go to the heavy metal festival.
Oh, sure.
In
Oh,
Germany.
yeah.
right.
So if
That'd
we
be
can
cool.
roll those two things in.
I don't think they're in the same time window, but I also don't know.
Yeah,
What do
they
I
could
know?
be.
Yeah, they could
They
be.
could be, yeah.
Germans have the best potato salad.
Ooh,
You heard it here
those fighting
first, all right?
I need to have
and
some.
German people who are watching this, they know I'm right.
words.
It's so
I do
good.
like potato salad.
All right. So tell us about Gamescom news.
So I'm just gonna like shotgun it. Is that the
Shotgun.
right word? Yeah. But because there was a lot of news, I was going through it and I'm like, I can't say all this. This is way too much.
Okay.
So this is my hand-picked one.
Okay.
So our friends over at Panic, who are known for the Playdate, announced "Thank Goodness You're Here" with a delightful animated trailer. So if you haven't seen that trailer, you got to go watch it.
Yes.
It's very like kind of Cartoon Network-y kind of style graphics, and like it just looks so cute. It looks awesome.
Cartoon Network, if the world was like Monty Python.
Yeah, because it's super
okay.
like British.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got to see the vibrant city of Baghdad for the upcoming Assassin's Creed Mirage. And it actually had a full Arabic audio track, which was really cool. And I'm very excited for Assassin's Creed
And you're
Mirage.
fluent in Arabic.
And I'm fluent in Arabic,
Right,
obviously,
right,
so I
yeah,
could
yeah.
just listen. And
Yeah.
I was like, finally, a video
Like,
for me.
Tight.
Now there's 2 Assassin's Creed games coming out.
Yeah.
Is this is the one that's kind of old school, or like going back to like Assassin's Creed 2 versus the big open world?
Oh, I think this is the big open world one.
Okay.
I think from all the trailers I've seen of it, it looks a lot like Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'm really, really excited for that. And then Little Nightmares 3 was announced. So I don't know if you guys have played Little Nightmares.
What is Little Nightmares?
But it's kind of like I guess horror. It's kind of spooky. Like a horror, like 2.5D.
Yeah, 2.5D.
Yeah.
Really, really weird stuff goes
Yeah.
on. It's like not Jacob's Ladder almost. Kind of like
the
freaky
movie
stuff.
Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah.
That kind of freaky
All
sort
right.
of stuff. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
pull. Good
It's
pull.
kind of like almost Coraline-y style
Yeah.
graphics. And
Oh,
stuff
it's
too.
like eerie and
Yeah, it's
yeah.
cool.
Mm.
It's really cool.
Okay.
I really like the first two, so I'm excited that they're even doing a third one because
Yeah.
I did not expect it. And it'll be developed by Supermassive Games, the studio behind Until Dawn, The Quarry, and more, which I thought was interesting because I love Until Dawn. It's amazing.
Yeah. What was the one where they're at the lake?
The Quarry?
Oh, the quarry. Yes. Okay. That's right.
I was like, I didn't play The Quarry. Crap. Where were they? Were they in a quarry?
Yeah.
So those are my handpicked ones. And there was a million more. So
Yeah, it's quite a few. Well, there was some Starfield stuff, right? There was
yeah,
some,
they did
like-
a live action trailer
Right,
for
right,
Starfield
right,
because
right.
it was right before Starfield came out.
All right.
So they just did more of, I think, a fun live action-y thing.
That's another game I want to play on the Steam Deck. Damn it.
Right?
I know.
I can't wait for Starfield, but I got to play Baldur's Gate first. I can't have two games that size going at the same time.
And then the other game I'm really looking forward to is Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, you and
Phantom
this guy.
Liberty.
September 29th, I believe, is
Dude,
the.
I know.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
I'm thinking of doing a video of all my Cyberpunk swag.
Yeah,
I've
do
got
it.
a ton of it.
Bro,
And-
really?
And what's funny about it, dude, if I'm being honest with you,
Yeah, hit it.
I kind of hit it whenever the game launched because the launch was so bad. I was like, oh, I can't really brag because the game. 'cause
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
people
yeah,
are pissed,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing that now, 2+ years later, it's cool again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could bust out my jacket.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
really have a jacket?
yeah, I got
Oh.
it at E3.
Yeah, those
Oh.
are so nice.
At E3, I got the jacket. I got the little action or the figure that
Mhm.
she has like the blades coming out of her
Right.
arms. I've got a bunch of stuff. I got the chair, a bunch of other
You have a
stuff.
chair?
Yeah, have
It's
you
like
seen
a
the
folding
chair? No, it's like
No,
a gamer
it's
desk
a gamer
chair.
chair. And it was like super limited. I actually bought it. Like I was like clicking the buy button. You know, 'cause
Wow.
I'm such a nerd.
Oh, that's
I've
sick.
got a ton of stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's perfect for it.
Well, I
kinda
also
No
like
Man's Skied it.
Cyberpunk. So tell me more about this off camera. Because I'm pretty excited.
All right, and the next bit of news is Universal Studios Japan's events are starting soon, and this year's chock full of video game treats.
Go
They have
on.
a lot of their regular Halloween stuff with the street zombies and all that, but we talking video games, okay? Okay. So, the Studio Stars restaurant has a Pokemon-themed menu with Mimikyu crepes, a DJ Pikachu or DJ Gengar Halloween party plate, Mischievous Prank-a-Grape jelly,
Is
which
she
is
just
like
saying
a
words
soda.
right now?
I have no idea
These
what's
are
happening.
Th-
Yeah.
This happens all the
Was
time.
this written by Chat GP or AP
Yeah,
or
it's just
GP?
gabagoo.
And then there's also going to be a Mr. Raccoon Resident Evil themed churro. And there's no shortage of nerdy activities either. Because there's the Resident Evil, the Extreme Horror Maze, and the Pokemon Jumpin' Halloween Dance Party.
So I have a theory about the Resident Evil Extreme Horror Maze. I think it's a corn maze. You know what I mean? that's all it is. Like,
I did the Resident Evil one last year,
okay.
and it was pretty cool. It was like part haunted house, part escape room, part shooting gallery. So it was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, like you walk in and basically there's actors who are in that like, oh fuck, what is that called? The Raccoon City Stars police uniforms.
Oh, okay.
And they're just like, it's all in Japanese, but they're like, you guys, oh my God, like things are happening and we got to get out of here and follow me, follow me, follow me. Like they do a lot of that kind of stuff. But while you're in some of the rooms, there's like a code you needed to pick up through it. So then you get to a part, there's like some like zombies and stuff. And then you get to a part that it's all one huge screen. And there's like a bunch of gun stations. So then everyone gets a gun. And then you're playing the video game, like just like the shooting part of it. And then real zombies come out.
This sounds amazing.
And then the Raccoon City police person was like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
So
you know?
are you going to take Metal Jesus to this?
Right now, we're planning on going the day before the Halloween stuff starts, just because of crowds.
Yeah,
What
because
is this?
that's what we're concerned about.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
like this Wii thing.
Yeah.
That
But
sounds dope.
I do have an alternate day in mind if we decide to do the
Yeah.
Halloween stuff. I'm
Okay.
just not sure how crowded it's going to be because
I think you should go and report back. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Because like either way, I have an annual pass. I'm going to the Halloween stuff at some point, but like. Yeah, it was really fun last year. And one thing I'm really looking forward to, although it doesn't open until the end of September, which
Okay.
I was upset about, is they're doing the roller coaster that's there, which is Space Fantasy. It's an all indoor roller coaster. That one they usually like skin with different things. Like I just went on it last whatever, and there was a Doraemon VR ride. And so now they're reskinning it to be the ring.
Oh,
And that's going to be really cool because haunted houses, I'm like touch and go on. Like, I don't like being the one to walk around the corner and the fucking thing jumps out at me.
yeah, the
You know?
jump scares.
I don't like that. I'll walk behind somebody, but I don't like being first. But on a roller coaster, it moves you. You have no choice. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right.
okay, I want to do that.
Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's the news.
The news.
And now it's time for Call Me Up, where we answer your questions from Discord. If you ever want to ask us a question, go over to the Chew High Labs Discord. Scroll all the way down to where it says Call Me Up. Click on it, and then type your question there. I like my elaborate instructions. It's
Yeah.
like, click on this, scroll down, turn right, turn around.
This is exactly what she does whenever you travel with you, and it's amazing.
Oh God.
Yeah, come out of Kyoto Station, turn right, go past the buses.
Oh
Yeah.
my
It'll
God.
say foreign taxi.
Yeah.
It's too much.
And it was
sorry,
awesome.
I'm a Virgo. I can't help it.
It was amazing.
Our first question is from Cupcake, and they say, it's very small. I'm sorry, and I'm blind. What are your pitches for Curse to Golf 2? Mine is Curse to Golf 2, Curse to Golf, where you spend an eternity building a golf roguelike. If
That's
you were to
pretty good.
make Curse to Golf 2, what would it be?
Jason.
What the hell is this question?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. So we hold on. We have a game called Curse to Golf.
Yes,
Have you played it by chance?
I have not.
Okay, so that's great.
I'm
if you
sure
were-
it's amazing.
it is.
Actually, I've heard it is good.
But if you were to make a game called Curse to Golf 2, what would
Yeah.
you make? You've never played our game, so you can make literally anything
Curse,
you want.
well, I mean, the most obvious answer is
Right.
Curse to Golf 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Electric
Yeah.
Boogaloo.
Come on, hello.
There it is, dude.
Hello.
It's about breakdancing for some reason. Yeah. Kinsey, what would you make?
God, I do like his answer, and that's all I can think of. Curse to Golf. Making a golf
I would
roguelike,
make
but-
I would make the world's first first person golfer, where you have to blast people with your golf club.
Can you
Wait, that's
imagine
not the
first-
name of it. You're describing the gameplay itself.
I don't give a shit.
We can do whatever we want.
So it'd be Call of
Yeah,
Golf. I don't know.
Call of Booty.
Golf booty. Let's just take golf in a whole new direction.
Yeah,
Yeah, Curse to Golf 2. I feel like it would need like it doesn't help because I was just seeing that game like Blood Golf, and so now my brain is all there.
So
Like,
describe the sequel.
yeah,
create a-
and I think in the question it's more or less just the title.
So mine would have been adding basically breakdancing.
Hell
So-
yeah.
got
Okay.
it. Yes, got it.
Can you imagine like you hit the golf ball? And then before the golf ball touches the ground on its first bounce, you gotta break out the moves, and then like you get a score based on that.
What you
And
want?
if your score is high enough, it can add more to your par count.
It's good.
Breakdancing.
Uh,
And the next question.
Yeah.
So Yaya asks, what's a game that you've been searching for forever, but just can't seem to
I
find?
think this is for
This
you.
is a physical game.
Yeah.
Whew, boy, I've been very lucky to find. Okay, well, actually, okay, one does come to mind. I am looking for, and maybe I should. I'm really glad you asked this question because I'm in the place where I could probably find it, and that
Yeah.
is the Sega SG-1000 version of Hero.
Yeah.
What is Hero?
So Hero is an Activision game for the Atari 2600 back in the
Okay.
day, considered one of the best Atari 2600 games. It happens to be in the intro of every single one of my videos. I love it. You know how a lot of people are like passionate about Super Mario Brothers or all this sort of stuff.
Right.
Great. For me, it was Hero. Such a great game.
Is that the
And-
game you put into the console?
It is.
Is that
Yeah.
where it goes?
Yep.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, no
All
shit.
right,
So,
okay.
so I have every single version of that game except for the SG-1000 because it's so weird. It's a completely different looking game. It looks bizarre.
Wow.
And the SG-1000 I don't think ever came out in the US.
Mm,
I mean, thank you for. I'm going to try to find that.
Yeah, maybe.
Hell yeah.
Because it would probably be here.
Yeah, if we go to Beep or something, they might have it.
Oh, dude, that's
Yeah.
great.
Do you-
Thank you.
Is that your biggest Japan white whale? You think? I
I
mean, that's a weird
I
one.
would love to own that. So, I mean, it's probably not going to be super expensive. I can. The Atari version is like sealed or brand new is like $900.
Mm-hmm.
So it's shockingly expensive. That's probably not that expensive. Boy, I mean, I do have a list of a bunch of Switch games I can't pronounce
right.
that
Yeah.
only came out here that I
Yeah.
can actually play in English. So I've got a bunch of those on my list.
Right,
I'm
right,
looking
right.
forward to. Yeah. So
Are there any consoles that you plan on getting while here? Like, do you have listen, I'm a dumbass here. Okay, so like you already have your MSXs and you already have your
I
No.
don't. So I don't have any Japanese computers at all.
Oh, okay.
They do pop up in Seattle area because we have a pretty large Asian population. So
Sure.
they do show up like on Craigslist occasionally. And a really good friend of mine has, a bunch of Japanese computers and
Right.
games. For me, that's a whole other. Do I want to go down that route?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I did pick up, and I am always picking up consoles, but they're handhelds because Japan
yeah.
gets so many colored variations of handhelds. So like last time I was here, I picked up like I think 3 Vitas.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
the Vita wasn't popular in the U.S.
Sure.
Not really.
Mhm.
Here, I got a red one, an orange one, a blue one, blah blah. Yesterday I picked up a red PSP.
Wow.
Nice.
So yeah. So there's a bunch of those kind of things. And it's not expensive. Which is really nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, do you have any? I know you're not really a collector,
Not
but is
really.
there anything that
Um,
you're like, oh, I need to find that?
Yeah.
eventually?
Is there like a physical game that you would like?
Super Mario 2 is my favorite Mario, and I don't own Doki Doki Panic. I should probably just get that. It's not
Yeah,
like it's rare,
I was
you
gonna
know.
say, it's
like-
probably super cheap, right?
but I also never go looking for it. So, you know what? I'm gonna get Doki Doki Panic.
Nice.
Kinsey.
I think my kind of white whale is and almost always will be because now it's at the price where I will never buy it,
Sure.
and I've even seen it, so it's not like I can't seem to find it because every so often I see it,
Right.
but then I'm like, ooh, broke. It's the Panasonic Q.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
And this
right.
Japan would be the place to get
Yep.
that, right?
How much?
And
How much are they? If you had to guess,
They're probably
couple
like
grand
$1,000.
for
800
a
to 1,000?
GameCube, right? That's
Yeah.
all it is, right?
It's a GameCube
Well,
that can play DVDs.
just a GameCube.
You're right. It's
the
silver,
most
right?
beautiful game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mirror. It's basically a mirror.
Oh, mirror. Right.
Yeah.
right.
It's cool because it also it plays DVDs as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unusual in that regard.
That's a format that what's coming back. I
Yeah.
think. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'll tell you what. It's funny. I collect DVDs like sometimes because have you ever been really annoyed the fact that like your favorite movie or whatever is suddenly this month not available for streaming
Oh, yeah.
anywhere?
Yes.
That is really annoying. And
Yeah.
and so to answer your question, I do occasionally buy some DVDs and Blu-rays,
Sure.
especially live concert footage.
Yeah.
There is no place, maybe sometimes on YouTube, sometimes maybe, but yeah, I definitely buy like every time we go into Half Price Books, which is like a thrift store in
Right.
Seattle. I look in that section for that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What can you not get easily on streaming? And
Exactly.
Sure,
Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. Thanks for your question, guys. And again, if you ever want to ask us a question, Chuhai Labs Discord, call me up, ask the question.
Call me.
Thanks.
Nasty Labs.
And that's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. And huge thanks to our guest, Metal Jesus. Metal Jesus, where can people find you on the
Well,
internet?
first of all, thank you so much
Oh,
for
hell yeah.
having me over here and
Mm-hmm.
and all the and treating me well and giving me way too much beer the other night.
Yeah.
And dude, this guy does shots, by the way. Do you remember high school? And the guy who would be, come on, man, just
Come on,
one more.
dude.
Come on,
man.
That's
Come on
this
now.
guy right
Yeah,
here.
hell yeah.
This guy. This is the guy at the end of the party, 2 a.m.
Correct.
Wants to do a line of shots.
a line and shots. Yeah.
and wait. Not only that, but he busts out the pickle juice.
I did.
Yeah.
These picklebacks.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed your stay at the studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
it was
guys are
the
awesome.
shit. Yeah, like, and he threw down. All right, he could hold his own. All right, I'm just throwing it out there that Metal Jesus deserves the name Metal Jesus.
Hell
all right?
yeah.
Thank
What's the I got one last question. What's the coolest riff you can hum with your mouth? A metal riff.
I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, what else?
My mind was going to Rammstein. I was thinking, but yeah, I'm not.
Wow,
gonna-
really?
Well, I'm trying anything kind of like simple and heavy.
All
Though.
right.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course.
If you want to follow me on social medias and the webs, go at Metal Jesus Rocks. You'll find me.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. And as always, Carve Snowboarding is out right now on the Oculus Quest. Halloween Forever is out right now on the Switch eShop. And you can buy Curse to Golf on pretty much every platform.
I should get a copy of that for the plane ride home.
You should.
Hell yeah.
And you can pre-order the vinyl right now, I think until October sometime. But you should pre-order it over at Black Screen Records. And you can follow Chuhai Labs at Chuhai Labs on all the things. Mark, where can people find you?
The Henry Demos on things.
Awesome. You can find me at Kinzilla on also all the things, but mostly Twitter and Instagram. You know what? Sure.
It's called X.
all the things.
Yeah.
I will never say
Man,
it.
you're old school.
I still have that Chrome plugin that like makes it so you're completely oblivious to all the
that sounds
changes.
amazing.
It's great. I'm like blissfully
Fucking
unaware.
nerds.
I love it. And as always, huge thanks to the Tokyo Beat Network. Huge thanks to all of you for listening. You are legally the best. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.